Shay, as always, waiting for my little tune up here to show myself live, because that's always fun, right? Why am I having issues? And give me a minute, because we all have a minute, right? Let's see, let me go to my page. I'm live, come on. There we go. There we are. My phone over here, because we always got to multitask when it comes to this live stuff. And I got to scoop my little self over here because I've changed up the camera. But either way, I think we are happening. We are fantastic. Things are moving forward. But I want to talk about Pisces season. The moon is ahead of the sun. If you don't know me, I always follow the lunar energies because I'm a reflector. So we've entered Pisces season not through our mind and not through action, but through our feelings. So before the sun crosses the threshold or crossed into the threshold, the moon has already arrived. So our emotions are ahead of our identity. And for those with a Pisces moon, this season opens in the heart. The heart centers in the waters, into the unseen, into our crown center, our subconscious, our identity shifts, and a lot more. So I want to call in the wisdom of the moon in Pisces, the keeper of memories, the dreamer of the dreams, the music, Sandalphon, the archangel, the listener between the worlds. And I want to honor the emotional body as the first to arrive, the first to sense, and the first to soften. But also I want to invoke and call in what we feel now be received without judgment, without urgency, and more importantly, without the need to name or fix anything. So as the moon leads us into the season of Pisces, waters, the big galaxy, and a lot more, Neptune. And yes, Neptune has just crossed into Aries. I don't know if you sensed and felt that. I was doing a divination earlier today for a great, amazing client friend of mine. But we release the sharp edges of our mind and we loosen the grip of certainty, and we allow intuition to speak first. That's the channel, that's the gift. But also compassion. May compassion rise without self-sacrifice. May sensitivity become strength. And more importantly, may imagination open pathways of healing, visualization, and let clarity and softness coexist simultaneously. So for Pisces moons, this is homecoming. It's a remembering. It's a return to the deep knowing that you do not need to carry everything to be worthy of love. You are allowed to rest in the current and the currency, the streams, but also you're allowed to feel without drowning. You're allowed to dream without escaping simultaneously. So as the sun prepares to follow the moon into Pisces, we bless this threshold, this currency, this water movement. We are blessing the waters. We're blessing the emotions that serve us gently, like come to the surface, bubbling springs. And we also bless the wisdom that cannot be rushed. So my invocation is about the season, just allowing the season to move through us like a tide that cleanses, like a prayer, an invocation, an accessory prayer that listens, like a dream that also teaches. I wish that for all of that. So we've entered Pisces season with reverence. We enter led by the moon. We enter guided by feeling, the emotional field, our sacral energetic center. And we also trust that what unfolds now is exactly what our souls are ready to receive. So it is. I command it. I said it. I felt it. And I honor it. I bless it even. I command it. So I like that. So we're doing our short break today. There's going to be an awakening moon forecast for the Pisces moons. If you have not yet subscribed on YouTube to Tanya D, YouTube, for your natal moon medicine forecast. I do natal moon medicine forecast for every season, just for the moon. But now I want to dive into identity shifting in a year of becoming. If you don't know, the fire horse is a year of becoming. It's a year of identity shifting. This may take me a moment. I think I'm there right there. Yeah, identity shifting, a year of becoming. So, do you ever ponder or wonder what an identity shift even looks like in our day to day world? An identity shift doesn't start with a big decision, it starts with micro choices. Uh, what you what your day to day says and what that reality is, but also what you respond to, what you stop explaining, mansplaining in my village. Identity lives in daily choices. So, new identity doesn't really argue and it does not over explain. There's no splaining. It simply shows up where it doesn't belong. Boundaries. Boundaries reveal identity. So, an identity shift feels like calm, peaceful waters, not adrenaline. There's like awakenings, there's relief, not urgency, all simultaneously. And your body knows when you are aligned. And the body confirms the truth. Identity is not revealed by where your energy goes. An old identity will leak it. New identity will protect it. So energy follows identity. And everything, and I mean everything, is energy. So you don't force identity shifts. You devote yourself to them quietly, sometimes silently, and often daily. Discipline is actually devotion. And most people think they're one strategy away from a different life, but strategy does not override your identity. Identity is not who you say you are, it's who your body allows you to be. It's your becoming. It's that kind of frequency. So you're not behind, you are not late. You're one identity shift away, and you already are feeling it, you're sensing it. If you are ready to become your soul purpose life, and that is what this energy frequency is about, what you are purposed to do, literally what your purpose to do, like why you arrived on the planet Earth in the first place at this particular time. My mom always said I was born ahead of my time, and I totally believe her. So in the spirit world, thank you, Mom. But if your heart is desiring more, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, those are distractions, temptations, and discouragement usually, but they're there for a purpose. So if you're ready to shift your identity, remove your blocks, join MMU. And when you do so, just come back here and actually comment that I'm in it to win it, because that will tell me. Now, I don't help people become somebody new. I help them release what they no longer are. So life can reorganize organically, naturally, and hopefully paraben free, just saying. But before we get into today's transmission, because there's a lot happening for us, I really want to acknowledge where we are in the sky, because that matters. It matters more than most people pay attention to. But the moon is ahead of the sun in Pisces in this moment, which means your body may already know something that your mind hasn't caught up to yet. The synchronicity. So you might feel like something is complete, like a version of you no longer fits. It's like the shoe doesn't fit, right? So if you ever, even if you can't explain why, so take a breath and a pause, because yeah, that's where we're at, and I'm all over the place, so don't mind me. I've changed things up, so I'm a little confused. But fire meets water. And Saturn and Neptune both crossing into Aries earlier today while I was doing my divination. So this is where illusion meets action, where vision asks to become responsibility. This is going to be happening for a while, but we've just opened this gateway, this doorway. It's where dreaming stops and identity begins. So this is like, let me say this. And I want to say this calmly and with peace and also with respect, because this is, for me, it feels energetically important. Most people do not need another manifestation technique. We've just opened this doorway. So I'm going to go back to my identity shifting here because that's actually where we are. We're all shifting identities, whatever that is. But in a moment like this, when illusion is dissolving, Neptune, what's actually required is that identity shift. So if you are somebody who is here for purpose, not just on my show, but here physically, the 3D, somebody who is chosen, called, meant to live in alignment, manifesting one thing at a time, is never going to satisfy you. You'll manifest the small things, the things that were never meant to stretch you, and it will work just enough to keep you stuck in your current identity. I dream about this stuff and it's very fascinating is what I want to say. I have visions. That's my grimoire. Done it my whole life. Even if you schedule a divination, Spirit's going to show me your pathway before we've landed. However, I want to get back to myself here. Your current personality, your current lifestyle, your current nervous system, and that's the trap. Because the fastest and most honest way to get what you want is not to chase those outcomes. It's to change who you are being in that moment. And once I understood this, everything just clicked. It was like, I got it. I got the memo. And I knew that this is not something you keep to yourself. This is how it actually works. And there's a lot happening for us in the world, and I tend to stay out of that frequency. But here's the illusion, right? People will show you this version of you, and then they show you where it's going to play out. Health, wealth, love, purpose, the things. There's one side of it. And then over here, say on the other side, the back side, the front side, they'll say, journal, just affirm, visualize, which I do a lot, and whisper, the whisper method, vision boards, whatever that is. And listen, some of that absolutely 100% works. You'll manifest money. You could manifest a car, a house, a village, success on paper, but you'll still wake up every day not doing what you love, still negotiating with burnout, still living below your soul's capacity, and eventually you will realize there has to be a better way, energetically, physically, spiritually, visually, because there are people who wake up every day living in alignment, doing what they're meant to do, not manifesting scraps. And the difference is this: they didn't manifest their way there. They shifted identities. So Pisces dreams and Aries decides. And we're at this moment, we're at a threshold, we're at a crossroads where deciding matters more than dreaming. And here's the truth. Most people don't tell you. The 1%, they're not manifesting harder. They're not affirming more. They've changed who they are energetically, literally, the 4D and the 5D. There's other dimensions, mind you. However, right now, the very second, this moment, there is absolutely 100% a version of you who already has the health, the wealth, the relationships, the purpose you desire. You don't need to create that person. You need to leave the old identity, the old you, and step into this new one. So what does that even look like? A lot of people, this is why people don't do that, because of identity blocks, energetic blocks, not bad habits, not lack of discipline, identity blocks. And what are these? They look like procrastination, usually around your purpose. Somebody's poking the bear, fear of success disguised as being realistic. Usually somebody else again telling you. Worthiness issues, of course, and never putting yourself first, investing in yourself, and literally staying loyal to an old version of who you are that literally kept you safe. So if you try to move into a new identity without identifying and absolutely removing these blocks happen for us, usually in our childhood. A lot of us are aware, some of us are not. I got ran over by a bus and I keep getting ran over by a bus. That was something that happened for me. However, once you recognize the block, that will dissipate. However, if you're new to removing blocks, you're going to snap back every time. And energetically, that's usually the only issue that happens for us. I always say things happen for us, not to us. Now, take a breath and a pause and imagine waking up every single day without battling procrastination, without fear of success or failure, without negotiating with self-doubt. And imagine finally working on the vision that spirit, your higher self, placed inside of you with clarity, energy, momentum. That's what happens when you leave an old identity consciously. So you may have a conscious awareness of this level of relationship, say, or I'll just use cars because that's just what popped into my head. An identity where a Pinto is the best level of vehicle you can drive versus a Cadillac. So you're just at that frequency. And we hang on to these frequencies and we can't up level because our conscious awareness is stayed at the Pinto. That's just what I want to say. I'm a Hemi girl. I need fast and I need power. So my conscious awareness is about speed. Not even kidding. And that's what I'm going for. So this is not for everybody. So if you want to manifest one thing at a time, this is not for you. But if you are ready to leave an old identity, a personality, a lifestyle, a version of yourself that no longer fits, like the wardrobe is worn out, I have more than a masterclass for you. Inside it, you're going to be shown exactly how identity shifts work. And at the end, you'll have access to an assessment that reveals the identity blocks that your subconscious has been holding on to. So you know precisely what needs to be released, not so you can manifest another thing. So this is the moment, and I've been tooting this for a while, but this is the moment where the future reorganizes around who you choose to be now. It's a cleansing space. So if this is speaking to you, I do have a link, of course, in the comments. But I'll also be beside you within Master Manifest University. This is not something I do, but this is something that literally shifted and reorganized my journey. If you don't know me, my motto is igniting passions, changing lives, all while awakening the spirit. So before we dive in, I'm going to share the Pisces moon forecast for the natal moons in Pisces. And when I return, we're going to be seeing the fire horse through a personal lens, also known as your day master, because your day master matters. It's an elemental that we all have. We're all unique. We're all individual. And I find once you connect with your personal day master, I specifically prescribe rituals around your day master plus the divinations, which we'll be doing later at the end of the show. So I'm super excited to change this up a little bit. Enjoy the Pisces natal moon forecast. And when I return, we'll dive into that as well. So here's a quick snippet. If your natal moon is in Pisces, if you want to check it, your natal moon forecast, they're on my YouTube channel. If your natal moon is in Pisces, as Aquarius season comes to a close, the energy begins to soften. The mental buzz quiets, the nervous system exhales, the air dissolves back into water. So if your natal moon is in Pisces, you are the bridge between seasons. You feel the ending of Aquarius, not as a concept, but as a shift in the emotional tide. And as Pisces season begins, you don't step forward, you flow inward. Aquarius season asked you to observe, to step back, and to detach, to see patterns clearly. And for Pisces moons, this was not easy, but it was clarifying. You may now notice clearer emotional boundaries, less entanglements with collective noise, a stronger sense of what belongs to you, and a quieter intuition, but a sharper one. Emotional fatigue that signals completion. So this is not depletion, this is integration. You've learned what you need, or don't need, I should say. You've learned what you don't need to carry forward. So entering Pisces season, what awakens inside of you? And as the sun is entering Pisces, your moon comes home. Feeling returns, but now with discernment. You are more intuitive, more compassionate, more sensitive, without losing yourself in the process. So Pisces season doesn't erase the clarity Aquarius season gave you. It wraps it in meaning. So you're being invited to soften without dissolving, without dissipating, feel without absorbing, dream without escaping, and heal energetically without fixing. So this is emotional wisdom, not emotional overwhelm. And moon medicine, your moon medicine is gentle embodiment. What does that mean? Rest deeply. Integration requires stillness. And reconnect with spiritual practices. Create beauty without purpose. Spend time near water or in silence. And just let your intuition guide your pace, not the pressure of it. And trust what you feel, but check where it leads. Pisces moons thrive when they allow life to move through them, not when they try to hold everything together. So this season is about sacred surrender with awareness and some integration insight. If emotions feel tender right now, that doesn't mean you're regressing. It means you're receiving. Pisces season restores your connection to compassion, creativity, and spiritual truth without asking you to abandon boundaries you just learned. And a moon mantra, I integrate with compassion, I flow forward with wisdom. And as Aquarius season ends and Pisces season begins, you are not losing clarity, you are infusing it with soul. So let the waters carry you gently home. Oh my goddess, what's happening here? I'm not sure why that clicked in. God knows what I've got going on here. Either way, back to the show here. Today, as we begin to look into the Fire Horse year through the elemental lens of your day master. Because the same year supports some energies and blocks others. And 2026, the Fire Horse blocks each day master. So you got to ask yourself, well, where will this year challenge your alignment or maybe bring you into alignment? So wood, both yin or yang, wood day masters. And mind you, you want to look at the month as well because it's going to bring intuition to you. And my ears are ringing. This has been a situation. Yeah, the chosen one. Anyway, back to the show here. So a block for you in 2026 would be overextension. Wood feeds fire. So for a wood day master, the Fire Horse year may bring way too many opportunities all at once. So the block here isn't lack, it's actually direction. And I have a young wood day master, born in the summer, different frequency, but I'm hyper aware of this. So it's going to show up. If it shows up in health, it's going to be burnout. If it shows up in wealth, it's going to be scattered efforts. Relationships, it's going to be saying yes way too often. Energetically, so what you want to bring in is like growth without pruning becomes overwhelm. And yang, in this case, the yang metal, which I'll get to the month a little later, but the metal is actually pruning a yin wood or yang wood energy. I didn't bring up all the elementals, so I'm just going to go through them. I do have the water up here, which I'll get to a little later. So if your day master is fire, it could be yin fire or yang fire. Either way, a block for you is like over identification. It's fire on fire. This can feel very empowering, charismatic, until identity becomes performance, which is literally is performance. It's what it does. It's the energy of that. My natal chart, which I should have maybe put up here, is full of fire. That's just my natural habitat. But for you, a fire day master, this will show up as your health energy, that kind of frequency is what I want to say. Nervous system fatigue. With wealth, this could be chasing visibility. You just want to be in the allowance stream. Yeah, the allowance stream. Relationships, this could feel like needing validation, like needing to feel validated in love. It is fire, right? It's connected to the heart center. And shining. Shine, but don't burn to be seen. You're going to radiate authentically, naturally. You don't need to do anything, so don't overextend yourself. If you have an Earth Day Master, I should maybe show that scene. Maybe I can. Let's see if I can. Oh, there I am. Oh, over there. Sorry, it's backwards, but it's all elemental, and these are elemental spirits. I have more of that in Gift and Purpose, which I'm going to relaunch this year, so you'll see that fantastic thing. But if your day master is Earth, could be Yang or Yin, the mountain or the soil, different frequencies. A block theme for you could be rigidity. And the fire horse year moves quickly, so Earth may try to hold an old identity, an old structure. You don't want to move. This could show up at health, where it could be stagnation or tension. For wealth, this could be resistance to change. So the elementals all play out. We're all unique and we're all different. I love this stuff, right? Relationships, this could be control patterns. So for you, support doesn't mean resistance. You got to be in the flow of the support. If you have a metal day master, Yang or Yin metal, this is focused energy, basically refinement as well. So for you, perfectionism. Metal may delay action, just waiting for clarity. So this is going to show up as health, could be stress related. Do more. I'm feeling like doing more yoga is what just came in. Wealth, that could be like feeling like you missed the timing, like you were a day late. It's also finances. That's a whole nother thing. But either way, that just popped in. Relationships, emotional distancing yourself. So for you, clarity comes through movement. You need to be in the flow, movement and currency. Now, I do have a little water day master because I'm so hilarious. Oh, no, I don't. Ding. Oh, let's go back there. There I am, the water day master. I'm so hilarious. This is actually the energy of today, I think, when I took a screenshot. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But Yang water or Yin water, your day master, it always goes back to the day master. Things come to us, things go away from us. But for you, it's emotional withdrawal, like withdrawing. But the curious part is we're in a Dagara water year, so there's this kind of symbiotic frequency that's happening for us. But in a water or a fire year, water may feel exposed. So for you, health could feel like fatigue. Wealth could be like held back. There's a hesitation. Relationships possibly pulling back. This is the emotional field for you. So protection is not isolation. Boundaries, energetic. So a fire horse year doesn't block to punish. It blocks to redirect. All of us. So when we see the patterns early, we can move with the year instead of against it. Now, being that we are in a Yang Tiger month, a Yang Metal Tiger month, the pressure of Yang Fire Horse, here's Tiger, adds a new flavor for each day master, which matters. It's an ingredient to your elemental soup, is how I see it. So here are some monthly blocks, which we cover and dive deep into the coven for this Fire Horse Year portal, this ceremony. So each day master is going to have a block during different months because that's how the choreography works for us. Things work for us. Things happen to us, not for us, is what I want to say. So a day master equals what you identify. It's your identity, where the month pillar equals the pressure brought by each month. And your day master shows how you move, and the month pillar shows where the year presses upon you. Happens for all of us. Things happen for us. So this is huge for 2026 because the solar month pillar is Yang Metal Tiger. So what does that even mean? So metal is a frequency, energy, vibration, equals standards, truth, cutting, consequence, but also focused energy. rigidity usually, but the tiger equals initiation, confrontation, courage. It's kind of like the pouncing. So the year is applying pressure through truth and boundary setting. And 2026, the Yang Metal Tiger month, the pressure of it, a Yang metal controls wood. So wood feels evaluated, corrected, pruned, forced to choose a direction. So the block here is trying to grow in too many directions to avoid being cut. This could show up in health again as burnout, wealth as scattered offers, especially if you're an online person like myself. In relationships, it's people pleasing energetically. So metal is asking wood, if your day master is wood, like myself, to choose what actually deserves to grow. So intention and attention. If you have a fire day master during this month, yang fire or yin fire, the pressure of this month, you have to look at it like metal reflects fire's behavior back to them. This is a mirrored vision. So your fire frequency, the energy may feel seen, measured, and questioned. Energetically, a block, you got to identify the block. This is like performing instead of leading. It could show up for you in the health arena as adrenal fatigue, doing like some kidney energies, or some sacral, actually, kidney and sacral, different elementals and whatnot. Wealth, this could be chasing the visibility. In relationships, it's like you're seeking approval from your partner when you should be seeking approval from yourself. Just saying. So there is that. So a fire day master, metal doesn't dim fire, it reveals where it's overexposed. So just pay attention. If you have an earth day master, and I know we got the dog there, but it's yang, earth is the mountain, yin, earth is the soil. We go to the mountain to tell the mountain our secrets. The mountain doesn't come to us. It's a stable force and energy. So again, yang, earth, yin, earth. So the pressure of this month, if you have an earth day master, is the tiger, the wood tiger, challenges earth structure. So you have to look at it metaphysically, where the wood, which is a tree, breaks up the earth. So metal sharpens expectations. So if you have an earth day master, you may feel rushed, destabilized, pushed to adapt. So a block for you could be holding on to systems that no longer support movement. It could show up for you in health as tension headaches even. Wealth could be like resistance to pivot, to transform, to change. And in your relationship, because it's always health, wealth, relationship, that's why I'm bringing that up, it could be a rigidity, like you're rigid when it comes to shift or transform or birth something new. So metal is asking earth to support movement, not prevent it. So you kind of want to flow into that. If you have a metal day master, yin or yang metal, I'm thinking like the rooster and the monkey, just saying, the West. But this month brings pressure. This is metal on metal. So this is self-judgment. You're like your inner critic. So this could feel like internal critique, criticism, pressure to be perfect and having some hesitation. Your block is going to be coming from waiting for clarity before action, clearing the water. In health, this could be, again, stress. Wealth, this is like you're missing the time. The timing is off. You miss the beat. In relationships, there could be some emotional distancing. For you, so metal becomes sharpest when it stops moving. So I just am thinking of Game of Thrones when Gendrick, I think his name, is sharpening the swords. I don't know. That's just what happened for me. Okay, and a water day master, which we are having here, yang or yin. Yang water is the galaxy. It's the ocean. Yin water could be a river, a stream, a pond. The yin and the yang. And the funny thing is yin energy is actually stronger than yang energy, just so you know, energetically. So there is that. So the pressure of the month, Metal produces water and the tiger pushes movement. So water day masters are compelled. They feel exposed, emotionally activated. So withdrawing to stay safe, that's what you may feel like. And in relationships or health, I want to say, there could be fatigue. And wealth, again, some more hesitation. Relationships, silence. And I love solitude. To me, silence is solitude. But metal feeds water. But tiger is asking it to move. So it's about the flow and the movement. So it's not just that the fire horse year moves quickly. It's that the young metal tiger month is asking us to move authentically, truthfully. It's wood, it's nature, authenticity. So the year is equal to the momentum, the month is equal to the pressure, and our day master equals to the response. So if you know your block, the shells energetically help you listen to why it's there. It's all in a synchronicity. So when I work with the Cowry Shells alongside the 4 pillars charts, this is where we listen for, is this block structural or is it emotional? And does it have the power, the frequency? And for myself, I have a young wood tiger day master. So the influences, this is just resonating energetically for myself. But the fire horse for me brings a lot of directions. And my medicine is pruning before action. This is what's happening for me because things are happening for me. I'm pruning down. Now that you are aware, hopefully, of where the year is pressing on you, you really want to tune into what's actually there energetically. But the fire horse year is moving quickly, but the month pillar shows where it's pressing upon us personally and energetically. So each day master wood, this is pressure to choose a direction. This is going to be happening for wood day masters all year long. The month is actually going to show you where the pressure or the invitation is activated. The year is the momentum. If you have a fire day master, there's going to be pressure to lead without performing. You don't have to perform, just lead with your exuberance, your charisma. If you have an earth day master, there's going to be pressure to adapt. Metal, for you, there's going to be pressure to act before perfection. You're going to be perfecting during it. And for water, there's going to be pressure to move without withdrawing. So when something feels blocked this year, it may not be timing. It may be pressure asking for integrity. Whew. So what I want to say is the 4 pillars shows where the year is pressing upon us. And the divination, the shells, help us understand what's actually in the way. So today we're going to be asking the shells to show us where the fire horse is asking us to move. And sometimes the year is asking us to move, and sometimes it's asking us to listen first. So we're going to have a quick commercial break again, and then the Cowry Shells. Just remember, all you have to do if you want me to move the shells on your behalf is comment your month and your year of birth, and I will move the shells and tune into the frequency and see what happens for you. A little mini divination, but I've relaunched Gift and Purpose. So I'm super excited about that, and I just saw my funny checkout there, but here we are. love that. Who loves the Who? Guttural like throat singing, the Who. I love that. But before we move into Cowry Shell divinations today, I really want to take a moment to talk about something that comes up again and again in sessions. And that's the difference between your path and your purpose, your gift and your purpose. Because many of us are looking for guidance, we're looking for clarity, confirmation. But what we're really navigating is an initiation, and we all go through initiations into the version of ourselves that can actually hold what we're actually asking for. That's where divination comes in. If you're new here, at the end of my show, I always do mini divinations. I move the shells, I call in your spirit team, and I just channel and move them, and I read them, give you some guidance. And the cards are even speaking today. And of course, Tiger's got his cute little butt here because he likes to be part of the show. Just so you know, your gift is not always what you're good at. Your gift is often what you're sensitive to. So for myself, my gift is spirit. I had a near-death experience, fire, dreams, visions. That's my grimoire. I'm very highly attuned to things, the subtle energies and whatnot. Happens for me, even if you schedule, being a reflector, all the things always go back to my purpose. So it's what you notice that others don't, especially for myself, I just want to say. It's what moves through you organically, naturally, even when you're not even trying. It just happens for you. And your purpose is what happens when that sensitivity is lived with intention. When your lived experiences, your patterns, your healing, and even your challenges, forces of adversity, those become your medicine. Whether you're looking at your moon, your day master and the 4 pillars, or the messages that come through the shells. So we're not just asking what's coming next. We're literally asking, what am I being shaped into? So as we open the shells today, I really do invite you to listen, not just for answers, but for alignment, because your gift is already here. We all have it. And your purpose is revealed. And as you learn how to live within it, that's the frequency we want to dive into. So drop your birth year and month in the comments, and really let's see what the elemental spirits have in store for you today. We're going to do a closing blessing as well. I know you guys have been shy lately, so if you want me to move the shells on your behalf, just comment. I've got all my little things opened up so I can see who wants me to move the shells. I just need your year of birth and your month, and then I tune in. I'll call out your name. I'll connect with your spirit team. That's kind of how this works for me. And I'll remove Tiger off the desk here so we can move the shells. And if you don't know what Cowry Shell divinations are, through vision, I worked with Elder Malidoma Somé. I'm a steward. I'm a protege. I'm a student of his wisdom, his medicine. He's a indigenous shaman who has actually moved into the world of spirit, and I was actually blessed, and literally spirit sent me to him to do divination. That's part of my purpose, is to help people get on their path and live their medicine. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. So divination is just another form of speaking to the spirit world on your behalf, kind of like cards. I do work with the Fae. I'm getting a bunch of singers today, so that just tells me the other world, the higher world, the angel world is in alignment, and also the moon. So I like that. So yeah, we'll wait for somebody to comment. Don't be shy. I only go where spirit allows me. Private sessions, if you're interested, of course, can be purchased online. I do a video recording. I prescribe personal rituals based on your 4 pillars and whatever comes through the shells, which I email later because I wait for that to be channeled through. So if you would like me to move the shells on your behalf, you just comment you comment That's just water, sorry. You comment your year and your month, and I tune into the frequency. I call in your spirit team, and then I move the shells on your behalf. And I'm telling you, when I say the angelic world, this is like the crown center. This is hilarious. This is so Piscean, and the moon. So this is great. Anyway, I call that in, and then I just go like this after I do a little thing. I do a little more than that. Tiger's in my way. And then I read these shells. That's what divination is. And it's usually pretty prophetic. I'm going to say it's going to be a little more prophetic today because we're in the season of Pisces, and I'm a channeler, and that energy comes through quite easily. Now, you might be saying, like, how can she read these stones? Well, I just tune in and I see where they fall. And again, it's all spirit guided. The other world, dreams, visions. That's what happens for me. So, seems like we're being shy again, which, hey, I get it. So, I get it. And if we don't have anybody that wants to tune in and move the shells because we're being shy, because that does happen. I see you on YouTube and I see you on Facebook. I am a multi-streamer. I'm a multi-dimensional being. So we'll give it a few minutes to see if you want me to move the shells. I'll get rid of my little guy here, Tiger. Tiger in a tiger month. How funny is that? Hello, universe. That's awesome. So while we wait, before we close, because I always have a closing, I do want to say when I work with Cowry Shells alongside the 4 pillars, especially in my private sessions, this really allows us to listen more specifically to your timing, your health patterns, your wealth flow, your relationship dynamics. So things happen for us, not to us, but also the energetic blocks that may not surface in a group setting. So there's no pressure to actually schedule. But if something resonated for you today, specifically with Saturn and Neptune, just at the 0 Aries identity, who I am, root center, or if you recognize where the fire horse is really asking you to move, where your day master is asking you to protect your heart, because it always goes back to the heart. So this is the kind of work we can explore one-on-one in a session in your own divine timing. Of course, the information is in my show notes, and you can follow what really feels right for you, like if it's an alignment, divine alignment. So I really like that as well. Ooh. And just know for yourself, when the timing is right, you will know it. You will get the nudge. And working privately in sacred space, this allows for precision, divine timing. Precision brings relief. And sometimes, energetically, the year is literally asking all of us to move. Last year was about shedding. This is a movement year. And sometimes it asks us to listen more affirmatively or closely first. So do tune into that for yourself as well. And again, you got to comment if you want me to move your shells on your behalf. I kind of quit just moving the shells to see what came in. So yeah, I just kind of speak to them. They tune in and whatnot. And I do work with the Fae. So we got the chalice. Yeah. The angels are here. Things are happening for us. The fall. That's kind of interesting because we're in the spring, right? And there we go, the fairy. The spirit dancer fairy of all fairies. So things are moving for us. So yeah, this is about believing and opening up and then taking action when it's belief and spirit directed. Basically, it literally is divine protection. But so yeah, if nobody wants me to move the shells on their behalf before we close, I do want to share where this work continues for those of you feel called to really energetically stay in it. The Fire Horse year is not something we understand in like one moment, one evening, one day, 1 hour. It's something we learn to move over time. So each month is going to bring us something different throughout the year. I do offer workshops where we explore these solar and lunar energies more deeply and fine tuning so you stay on your own frequency, working with timing, alignment, and the specific blocks that show up, whether it's across health, wealth, relationships. We all have them. And inside the membership, which is getting another update, this is where we track this together month by month through rituals, meditations, elemental practices. I do have rituals for each moon meditation in my blog, and if you listen on YouTube, I want to say. So you're not navigating this year alone. And for those energetically who do want more personal support, there are also my one-on-one pathways where we work directly with your 4 pillars and Cowry Shell divination. But energetically, there's no pressure to join. I just want to speak and allow and give guidance. Just know that these spaces do exist. If you feel the fire horse asking you to move, or the water year and the Dagara asking you to listen more closely. So for the next few months, we're going to be closing our work with a water blessing during my live show to really help what we've stirred here, moving and getting into the flow of the year like currency. So I just want to say, as nobody wants me to move the shells on their behalf, again, if you're new here, all you have to do is comment your year and month of birth, and then I'll look in. I just tune in basically elementally. But as we begin to close, because no one's commenting, and I get it, I get being shy, this is where we allow fire, the inside of fire, to return. We want to allow it to turn gently to the waters for integration. And anytime I prescribe a ritual, you have to have integration time, because sometimes if you don't integrate, we create interference because we're kind of a rushy society. Yeah, we rush everything. But the fire horse is moving us forward, and water is assisting us to arrive whole and to be into the flow, if that makes sense. So I like that for us. So I just want to call on the spirits as we close. We want to return to those waters, the waters of the body, the waters of our heart. Water is everything. Water is memory. It's waters that remember where we have been this timeline or another. I tend to go back 7 generations myself, for others, where we are going. And I just want to allow and may whatever was stirred settle here in the moment, settling waters so that they become clear and the mud dissipates the earth with grace, streams of grace. And just know and just allow whatever it is that was released, allow it to be carried, streamed, flowing gently away like a river, the courses. But also, whatever was revealed for you today, remain only as long as it serves healing and purpose and gift. And we're going to ask the water spirits, because water is a big spirit, water to cleanse what is heavy. And we want to call on the water spirits to soften what is guarded with permission, yes. And water, restore what is tired. And wisdom, whatever wisdom was received in this moment, to allow it to move quietly, not swiftly, through our lives, whether it's through rest or breath, which is metal, which is also our throat center, through right timing, divine timing. But we also want to give thanks to the unseen and the seen, the other world, our otherworldly helpers, but also our ancestors, well and healed always. And to the spirit of water that holds us with patience, clarity, care. And we want to leave this space knowing that we are grounded, we are protected, we are safe, and gently guided even. So with authenticity, gratitude, streams of grace. That's how we want to close. As always, close. And just so you know, people throw shade and dim our light all the time. And if people can throw shade and dim our light, then I, the Tanya D, can radiate your brilliance, changing lives, igniting passions through the information highway while awakening the spirit. And with that, I say Ashe, which means blessings. I used to say Inshallah as divine wills. I watched Ertugrul, but so yes, if you're new here, I show up every Friday, 3 p.m. For a live show. I talk about the elementals. I bring in the spirits of the elementals, taking us back to our origins. And yeah, if you need some guidance on the elemental pathway, I always prescribe rituals as part of the medicine, the energetic streams to get you on your pathway, your personal medicine, to live your life with purpose as your purpose to do. So with that, I say Ashe, blessings. I'll see you next Friday. So yeah, there is that. And I will see you on the other side as always. And Ashe.